Hi friends, today I decided to make a recycle project out of this egg carton. I've decided I needed 7 portions to stack on each other to make this fish that I want to make. So that's what I'm doing, is cutting out 7 portions of the egg carton. And then I'm going to be throwing them into water to shape them the way I want, to make them look a little bit more natural looking. Now I'm shaping them, cutting them to scale, look what I think would look like scales, deciding what I'm going to use to hold them all together. And I decided to use a piece of tulle that was a rectangle chunk, and I cut it in half to make kind of like a string of tulle to use to string it up. I thought the tulle looked like a fish net, and I thought it would be really cute against it, so that's why I used the tulle instead of string or something like that, and it was on my desk. The colors I decided was, of course, red. That was on my desk, and I thought it was a really good common Asian type of color, and I love red and gold together, and I grabbed my gold. So I just was trying to figure out which way it would be best to paint it. It's still damp from being in the water, but I painted it over it anyway. And I paint on the outsides of the egg cartons, and then a little bit on the inside, more so on the tail. So then when it's hanging you don't see underneath, and I continued with that. of course, I love to add gold to my projects, and when I have the excuse to add tons of it, I do. I added lots of gold to the edging, and of course I made kind of my scales or my fin pieces look, you know, like fins, and added lots of gold to my edges and kind of dry brushed the gold all over the rest of the egg cartons. And I just liked the gold so much I ended up adding more glittery gold and stuff, so I just couldn't help myself. I went really crazy with it today. Here's some Pearl-Ex powders, and I just added to the wet paint and what was there. I just like that dark old metal look that it gave when I brushed a little bit of that on, and I really liked it with the gold, how it looked. So I added some of that on, all my little pieces. And then I added a little bit of glue, decoupage, and added some glitter, gold glitter, which is really old gold glitter. From an aunt that I inherited, so it's like an antique look, and it looked really cool. Here I decided to add a little bit of a black embossing powder as well to that glue, and I was thinking about inking it up a little bit with inks, but then I just decided to go with the embossing powder and see how that worked, and I thought it looked really great. I just took a little brush and brushed if it was too much on there, I thought I'd brush a little off before I started to heat it up and get it set. And then I just thought it looked really cool and natural on there, and I just liked the little hint that the dark and the black put in there. Here I'm stringing together what you'd call stringing together with this mesh that looked like a net, these pieces, and I ended up gluing each piece to the netting as well, because it was still a little damp and the hole was getting a little bit big, but I didn't want to struggle with it and leave it dry, so I just thought I would kind of twirl up that netting, put it through, and glue each piece in afterwards, and it seemed to hold pretty good. I really just kind of went with this idea and didn't think too much about it. I just knew that the shape I wanted it to look like those old metal type of Chinese or Asian little fish that you see decor on keychains or whatever, little charms, and that's the feel I wanted to do with it, so that's how it came out. And like I said, I just made sure I glued all my little ends, each segment, to my mesh, so then it wouldn't come apart as well. You can see me adding the glue. I'm adjusting to where I want it. I didn't want to have to tie knots through the whole thing. I thought that would be too much of a bother. And here it is. A little damp, but still good. I wanted to add little golden eyes, so I did that as well with a little jewel type of things. So here I have these little jewel orange eyes, and I add 2 little black beads to the very top, or 1 on each, and glued that to the fish, and that was his little jewel eyes. I thought they were really cute. And I hung them on a project I made before, these fabric beads, and I can make a link to that video if you guys want to make these fabric beads. Now, I have them in a necklace, but I decided to reuse them on something else, and this is perfect, I thought. And this is him hanging to dry. And I got a few more pictures, so I hope you guys enjoy this project. Give it a try. Make your own little fish charm. Well, this is actually a fish decor hanging out of egg carton. Thanks, friends, for watching. Bye-bye.